night. It's a beautiful evening here in Portugal, and we are here at Quinta dos Três Rios, the farm on the Three Rivers here in Viseu. And thank you so much, Hugh, for hosting myself and Colin, who looks very comfortable on the sofa top right, doesn't he?
He does. He's enjoying that.
He's still awake. He's enjoying himself in front of the open fire there. Thank you, Wine Ninjas, for being here for this very special edition of the Good Morning Portugal Wine Club. We are looking at wines that reflect ourselves. That's what we've chosen tonight. Have you gone with full-bodied, aged and sour, dense and complex, tight and juicy, sexy and sparkling, or something entirely different? Good evening to you, Michael. And Catherine, I think, will be joining us soon. How are you, Michael?
Oh, we're really well. Catherine's just taking bread out.
Hi, Catherine. Oh, just taking bread out of the oven. How about that? Not a euphemism. Actually taking bread out of the oven over there in Figueiras dos Vinhos this evening, I take it?
Yeah.
In central Portugal. Fantastic. Yeah. And we'll come back to you and find out which wine you've chosen that reflects you. Colin, have you chosen anything, or are you just happy to... Oh, look at that bread. Hold on a minute. We're going to zoom in on you to see that. What's just come fresh out the oven there. What have we got? Is that sourdough?
Sourdough rye.
Can we have another look? Can we have another quick look, please?
Yeah.
Defender of our right to good wine, Michael, on the screen now, showing his freshly baked loaf just out the oven.
This is
Whoa, look at that.
It's nice.
Some nice knife work on that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, very good. Nice with a bit of cheese, a bit of red wine. I'm thinking, thank you so much. That's beautiful. What great timing. See you in a bit, Catherine. Thank you. We'll come back to you and your wine in just a moment, Michael. Let's work our way around the screen. Colin, I'm going to unmute you for a minute. We do have a little bit of a clash of microphones here. But how are you this evening? Looking very comfortable.
I think I'm excellent.
I think you're excellent too. Thank you very much. Okay, let's mute him back up. I think he'll expleet from time to time, like that guy on Father Ted. Okay, the Austins in Alviagra tonight. How are you? Good evening to you.
Hello.
Good evening, everybody.
Fine,
We're
thank
good.
you.
We're good. All is well.
All is well, isn't it? I think the weather it's been a beautiful day. Let me put it that way here in Portugal, and I suspect it has been. The sun has been shining on the righteous in Alviagra too. Am I correct?
Which means you're on your next door, so I don't know what that means.
It's a little cloud over your gaff. Okay, so thank you for being here tonight. I think you, like others, enjoyed this theme, and we'll come back to you to see which wine you've chosen. Thank you for being here tonight. Johnny Cocktail, live from the Algarve. How are you this evening?
Terrific. Always happy to be here.
Oh, good to have you as well. How's the Algarve today or this evening?
Another beach day.
Another beach day. Oh, you poor thing. And Diane and Pete, hello to you in Fundale this evening on your sun-soaked deck. Pete,
that's lovely. Definitely. We even got the pool open today, didn't we? So
We did.
yeah, a bit optimistic, but still, no, it's been lovely. What a gorgeous day, especially given how wet and horrible it has been like the last week. So,
well, Hugh, who sat next to me here, has been talking about the rain, and it's been pretty wet. Thank you for being here. Thank you for letting us be here with you. Your wonderful place here, near Viseu, near Tondela, where you make your own wine. How about that, everybody? I didn't find a wine that reflected me necessarily. I actually found somewhere that produces wine. Although saying that, it's hard to find. It's exclusive. It's very stylish. Perhaps that does reflect me. I don't know. Let's let others be the judge of that this evening. Hugh, could you, before we'll come back to you, and we'll focus on what you do here in this incredible place a little bit later on in the show tonight, in the live stream, after we've done a bit of tasting and found out what everybody's chosen. But could you briefly tell us what you do here and what goes on at Minola?
So we have about 6,000 vines, and we have 4 main varieties. Touriga Nacional, which we believe is the king, Alfrochera Preto, which is only really produced in the Viseu area. We have Jayan, which is a very sweet grape. Unfortunately, the wild boar like it. And we have Tinto Riz, which is the Rioja Spanish wine, which is a larger grape, great for volume. And all 4 make a great blend, the classic Dow blend.
Wonderful.
As you see on my label there, Foot Trod.
Foot Trod as well. How about that? I'm going to bring this onto this close-up camera here so you can see what we're talking about. I need to take that off there for a moment. Look, there's the beautiful label. Are those oak leaves on there?
Yep.
And we saw your 200-year-old oak tree, didn't we, in your land?
Yes.
And you gave me a lovely tour of the land. So we'll come back and talk more about Minola and what you do here. And I don't mean to be showing off. It's just like, oh, look, Carl's come to the Good Morning Portugal wine show with live from a vineyard. It's just what Colin organised, which has been fantastic. So thanks to Colin. For doing this, Colin. Great job of organising this lovely trip, this road trip for us, and what a lovely surprise for me this evening. So let's try. Oh, is that an empty glass he's shaking? No, he's okay. He's got something in his glass. So these wines then, choose a wine. We'll come back to Minola a little bit later, find out more about Hugh and Jane here. Bring a wine that best represents you, Michael and Catherine. What did you choose?
Well, I tried to find a wine that said aged and flabby, and I couldn't find one.
Right, really? Aged and flabby, okay.
Because I don't feel aged and I don't feel flabby, but you know.
Right. So something something immature and trim, perhaps?
Oh, there you go. You can get arrested in Portugal for that. Actually, we did choose a wine tonight.
You did or you didn't?
We did not.
Oh, okay. All right, we're going to zoom in here. What's this? Oh, Aguardente Vinica Velha, Martha's. Is that Portuguese?
This is Portuguese, and I've tried several aguardientes, and this is by far the best I've ever tasted. Not that I've tasted,
okay.
but this one is it's extremely smooth. This is the closest you'll get to a brandy or a cognac, I think.
What proof?
The reason we bought this is because it kind of fits Catherine and I's outlook on life. We're pretty adventurous. We'll pretty much try anything. And when you first try your first aguardiente, most times you'll probably say, I'm not going to try this again. But we did. And we ended up finding this one.
Yeah.
But I actually have a really which suits us perfectly. You know, this is a wine made with Castell, Cab Sauv, and Touriga Nacional. So you couldn't get much more Portuguese than this. Actually,
sounds great. I actually thought you said it was made with bacalhau, and you probably couldn't get more Portuguese than that. But what you didn't say, but made with bacalhau, did you?
It's Castell. Is the
Castell? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Very good. And good commentary there, because you could be in a Portuguese cafe, couldn't you, and ask for an aguardente, feel a little bit adventurous, have a café con cheirinho, and like the one I think we had, Gary, when we were at that beer festival in Castanheira de Pera, the shot glasses came round, and that. Do you want to describe that aguardente that we had late on in the evening at the beer festival?
It's difficult to remember now, but was it the clear stuff?
It was that. Yeah, I think there was much coughing and wheezing and people dropping to the floor. It can be a somewhat awkward. Oh, you're pointing to a fine selection over there, Hugh, as well.
There's an aguardente vinicra. We tend to see good.
Really? I didn't notice your wonderful drinks display over there. That's a fine sight. Well chosen, Michael and Catherine. We'll come back to you on a little bit more of the tasting. Let's find out what else we have. Garvo and Linda, what did you choose that reflects you two? Something smooth and sexy, I suspect.
Well, it could have been myself or Linda that chose the wine. We can't really down to. We'd be like rolling around the kitchen, highly inebriated. So we've just gone for the one. And this one, I think, kind of we've agreed reflects me. If you look at the bottle, for instance, you'll see it's kind of short and dumpy.
Harsh. Fat Baron,
right? But it's one of my recent discoveries from my favourite manufacturer, Linda. It's a glorious wine. It really is. It's maximum taste. You know, it's full-bodied.
It's
a very deep I was going to say satisfying, but I can't really use that, can I? A very deep sort of experience. It's got
Fulfilling.
lots and lots and lots of levels, right? It goes on and on and on, which is really, really nice. So it's a bit like me, really. It goes on and on and on, but that's a whole different story.
A long aftertaste.
What can you say about it?
Well, it's a Shiraz.
Yeah.
And it's single grape, is it?
Yes.
It's a single grape.
So it's simple.
Simple. Yeah.
Nothing simple about it.
Straightforward.
That applies to me.
It is a bit thick, I must admit. It's quite.
Careful.
No, it's no, it's just a fun, happy, just easygoing wine that probably anybody at any time could drink this wine. So
Right.
it's easy.
Very good. I know people are watching tonight. We can see you. Well, we can't literally see you. Wouldn't that be spooky if we could actually do that? But we know we have friends watching. So say hi, please, in the comments, if you will. Fat Baron doesn't sound very Portuguese, Gary and Linda. Is this a new? Is this an effort from Irma Linda to reach a bigger audience worldwide? Do you think?
Well, I do believe Penny got a bottle of it, so maybe it's an export jobby. But I noticed there's 3 different sorts they've got. There's this one, which is the Shiraz.
Yeah.
They've got a Touriga National and a blend. I mean, it's about 6.5 a bottle.
Yeah.
But I haven't tried the rest of them. If it's half as good as these, I'm going to be pleased because it's just a delicious drink.
Yeah, but Fat Baron, you just don't. You're not expecting that to be a domestic brew here, are you? In Portugal, with a name like that, it does sound like it's designed to be seen overseas and exported.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got.
You're enjoying it here.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the label, can we have a?
Let's just zoom in on you there. Yes.
What's the alcohol?
What's the alcohol and who's the Baron? Do we know?
It's 15.5.
Okay, and do we know who that is?
Doesn't taste.
That's dangerous.
It doesn't have that vapor about it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get these wines and you, but no, it's just a really easy drinking wine.
Really fruity.
I suppose really you could get bummed out of your skull on it without.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what we're watching closely.
What year?
But it's nice.
What year have we got there? Hugh's asking you.
2022, is it?
2022.
Yeah, 2022. Apparently, it's aged for 18 months in American and French oak barrels, so you got the blend from both. I didn't know this. We went to Irma Linda a few days ago.
Of course you did. Yes, you've got to tell us about that tonight.
You want me to do that now or later?
No. Yeah, we'll come back to you later because we've got to find out what everyone else has got.
Yeah, well,
how lovely. Yeah, you've been there.
Yeah, it was excellent. We'll speak about it later. I'll let somebody else get a word in there because I go on a bit tonight.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I've got a long finish.
You have that was rather a long finish, but thank you for it. And we have the OLP. Linda's watching from northern Montana this evening. Thanks for being here, OLP. We know you like your Portuguese wines. Thanks for tuning in this evening. Anyone else who's watching, let us know in the chat how you're doing and what you're drinking this evening. Johnny Cocktail. What does a man called Johnny Cocktail choose at the wine store?
Well, he chooses to follow a nice segue. So, of course, what I have to do is promote what has become my favorite vintner in Portugal. So I also have a Casa Irma Linda.
Ooh, really? But has become your favorite? Very interesting.
Okay. Well, I have many more months of explorations to do. So, but so far, everything that I've had from them, I've enjoyed. I wanted to take this opportunity, and I found some similarities between the bottle and myself, are both prized and awarded. And we age to elegance and smoothness.
Very nice. Elegant and smooth.
Now, I do have a personal attribute that's not directly listed on the label, but it does tie in, and that I follow instructions well. Because it does say on the bottle, drink now till 2030. So I will.
So you will. Very good, Johnny Cocktail. Thank you for joining us. Sarah and Dan, thank you for joining us on screen. Wasn't sure. I was about to ask you if you were going to be on screen or not, if you're watching from the green room. You're happy to be on screen with us, I think, for the first time on the Wine Club.
Come on down.
Well, we got a last minute invitation from Gary, so
fantastic.
Kind of kicked us in the butt a little and decided to join in. So
Good. I don't know if that's what his wine is like. It kicks you in the butt. He'll tell us more about that later. What did you have time to choose something that suits your personalities?
Well, I don't know if it suits our personality, but we did have a nice bottle here of Fleur de
I'm
Sel.
zooming in. Okay. Yeah.
And it's 13%. It's really light. It's I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. It's a little bit on the.
She doesn't seem blown away, does she?
Well, I
Yeah.
have a tendency to like
She's another class.
I don't know how to say Aragonese.
Yes.
And Syrah.
Aragonese. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I thought it might be a little more, have a little bit more character to it, but it's just a nice light, like a summer red, I would say.
Yes, and I was going to say it's not like you at all, being so inoffensive, but I don't mean it like that. You know what I mean? You are quite a direct person, is what I mean to say.
I did actually look at the back, and it's funny. It's talking about two brothers who came together in the 5th generation of winemaking to understand each other, putting together the best arguments between themselves. So it's about a family working together to create this wine that they're quite proud of. It says something different, irreverent, innovative, but very consistent. Would you say I'm any of those things?
Yeah, that is definitely you. What do you think, Dan? That's Sarah right there, isn't it?
To a T, yeah.
I was just laughing.
How are you, Dan?
I'm doing great.
And how's that going down for you, so to speak?
Good. Like I said, it's a nice, light, sort of pleasant store. It's, I don't know, it's just a touch flat, maybe. I guess.
Oh, okay. Neither of you are that impressed at the moment. It could come to life, couldn't it? Things can change, of course, as we know, as we continue to drink.
Yeah, the bits and petals. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
We opened it 30 minutes ago, so to, I don't know.
We're going to be doing a bit of aerating, and perhaps I think is very impressive aerator. And maybe it needs a little bit of that, a bit of oxygen in it or something. But Sarah and Dan, thanks so much for joining us tonight from the outskirts of Caldas de Rainha on the Silver Coast. So well done for flying that flag. I'm out of town at the moment, and we'll find out more about where we are, where Colin and I are this evening. Colin's still awake there? He is, isn't he? Yeah. The Bleachers near Fundal. How are you this evening? What you got?
We have got the mayor's son's girlfriend's own port, which is fab. So we managed to basically get a bottle off. She brought a bottle around for Di's birthday, and we liked it so much we got a case, and it's fab. So it's exclusive that no one else can get hold of it. It's pokey as anything. It's about 22% for a port. Is quite, I think, reasonably strong. It's Touriga Nacional, so it's kind of pretty Portuguese, and it's lovely. I have to admit, I hope she's got some more, but I think he only produces a couple of 100 bottles. So hopefully we'll try and make sure we take quite a significant proportion of the harvest this year. So it's great, really, really nice.
Very good. We'll come back to some specifics and tasting notes, but then let's just get this straight. You're over in Fundal. That is the mayor's son's girlfriend's
family's port.
Families. Yeah. Okay. Right, very good. So, wow, that is nichey, very nichey. So thank you for joining us tonight, and tell us more about that in a moment. So let's go back to the Whitbys then and get a bit more specific with the aguardent that they've chosen. Martha's aguardent, as I recall.
Can you dream like a mad dog to get here?
Terence has arrived.
I can hear it. The man known as Chinese Terry, and also he's got a nickname.
Everybody.
Poopy Longlegs was another nickname he picked up for some reason. It was from a 5-year-old, to be fair. So, Poopy, good evening to you. Well done. So, back to the Whitbys then, and you'll take us through the taste of this.
Before I do that, Barbo's somebody made a comment that it seems like it's a name for export, and it could well be, because there is a wine sold in North America and Canada called Fat Bastard, and
nobody got that tonight.
Yeah, That bastard is a Merlot, and it's from
Or Shiraz.
Languedoc.
Or Shiraz, they make it best.
Or Shiraz as
It's,
well.
it's a French wine.
And they're from
winemaker.
Languedoc.
Yeah.
And of course, Languedoc is the, the biggest wine growing region in France. And they mass produce wine like crazy. So it's really popular in North America. It's not inexpensive, actually. The Merlot is, I don't like Merlot. I've got this particular hate against it. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I don't like it or don't like it.
That could be it.
Yeah, but it actually is quite drinkable for the price. It's amazing. And of course, it's like the price we pay for our wine. So, we're
a perfect gift. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
okay.
So,
and the OLP has had Fat Bastard. And it can be said in so many different ways, can't it? Fat bastard or fat bastard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's only if they sell it in England. It's Fat Bastard.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Well, it's enough to get us blocked on YouTube anyway. That's suffice to say. Tonight, 4 hours from now, we'll be having a southeastern Australian wine, 19 Crimes Red Blend. That's a self-referential Australian joke, isn't it? A crime-related reference there. I don't know if it's going back to the origins of the society in Australia. I'm not sure. Perhaps we don't dwell on that and go to your. Sorry, is that right, Catherine?
Yeah, I remember that wine. Yeah.
Okay.
Table.
All right. Wow. Imagine that.
Crimes.
Oh yeah, 19 Crimes. Yeah.
Right, and with the founding influence of the vintner there, possibly sent to Australia for crimes committed, drunk and disorderly on the streets of London, wake up and start a wine company in Australia. Excellent karmic turn of the wheel there. So yes, Whitby said Aguardent can be rough as a bear's bottom, can't it?
Yeah.
This not so much.
And the first one that we ever tasted was clear, so never saw oak in its life. Many of them are. I mean, the homemade ones are all like white lightning, as far as I'm concerned.
Screech.
Whatever you want to call it. And it is better than homemade vodka, though, I have to admit. It's got more character than that. But
yes,
not a lot. But this is amazing. This has been on oak. This has been in American oak. Actually, no, it's not American oak. It's been in French oak for 24 months. So it's really something else. I mean, that's where its color's from.
We discussed
it's beautiful.
when we were at the fabulous wine.
Is it Alcabasa?
Yeah, is it Alcabasa? No. Yeah.
No.
Might be Leiria, that area. No. There's a really great wine museum there for the region, and it's one of the best ones we've ever been to. And,
anyway.
Yes.
The guy that gave us our tasting and tour said that this was his favorite. So we said, okay, well, we'll give Aguardent another try, and we really liked it.
I'm glad you did, by the sound of it. That might be the Alcabasa Wine Museum, and it's the only national wine museum, apparently. All the other wine museums around the country reflect their region, and Alcabasa is Portugal's. We drove past it today. Colin and I were talking about it on the way here.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It's well worth a visit. I mean,
okay, sounds good.
When you see how they used to make wine 30 years ago, I have no idea people made wine in that style and with those vessels.
Yeah.
So recently.
And I'm not saying anything more about the vessels.
No, you should go and see it. It's well worth it.
The vessels. Brilliant. Okay. So tell us more about Martha's. And again, I mean, that's not a Portuguese name, is it? Maybe Marta, but it sounds again like it might be designed for export with a name like that.
No, it's
1727.
They've been in business in 1727.
Okay. Well established.
A year or two.
Yeah.
And
what's the alcohol?
It's a small batch. The small pot. So they make it in a small batch. I don't know how big the batches are, but they called it small pot when he was telling us about it. And I think it's you can sit down on a lovely cool evening and drink this, and it just tastes like a cognac. It's amazing stuff.
Wow, good to know. Excellent. Okay, Martha's then.
Yeah, as I said, it just kind of reflects us. It's strong, and we feel we are strong people.
Yeah.
We're willing to try lots of lots of things.
We're willing to take advice from strangers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes.
And you are a surprising discovery for all who meet you, as Michael Barton did. Boutard says, Michael, allow Michael and Catherine, it was great meeting you Saturday night. And this is where you were at the Craft Beer Festival in Aveiro. How was it?
Actually, it was pretty good. There's some good beers there. It's the first one I've been to in Portugal, and they need to get their act together a little bit. I mean, all the ones I've been to in the past, it gives you a description on the beer, the IBUs, the alcohol. The only thing it said on these is the alcohol content.
Yeah.
It didn't say anything about the IBUs.
Or where it was made. It didn't.
Or in fact, where it's made.
Not any information about
it
the
had the name
brewers.
of the cervejeria, but that was it. It didn't say from or
Michael told us that he'd been to the Coimbra Cerveja Festival, and he said it was way bigger. Now, small isn't necessarily worse. It just, you got around to see everybody, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It was a great event, though.
Good. Yeah, I saw Michael in Coimbra. Coimbra was good as well. Well, and excellent. You saw Bairandi there as well. So he popped up from
he got there later than we did, so we didn't.
Yeah, he got there after we'd left. So.
But anyway, the group was well represented.
An interesting debut for you on the craft beer scene. It's wine tonight on the Good Morning Portugal Wine Club. Colin, do you have anything to add to this conversation? The Portonico is going down very well for you, isn't it? Let's unmute you and see what you have to say about that.
Well, it is like me. It's tasty, sporty, and goes down well.
Yes. After a hard day. Very
good. It also goes very quickly.
Yes. Just ask Liz. Well, thank you very much for that, Colin. That's made with your own distilling here, right? Yeah, fantastic. So we'll come back to that as well. That's made on the premises here. And it was a lovely appetizer a little bit earlier on with some smoked pate. Hugh is a smoker as well here, and he'll tell us more about that. Let's go now to the Alviagra HQ of the Austins. And Chinese Terry has joined the lineup. Good evening to you. How are you, Chinese?
Very well, thank you, sir. Very well. Can't complain. Just raced back all the way back from your hometown, San Martino, to be here. I've taken a lot of risks. I think I almost finished up a couple of pilgrims on the way as well, but scraping up the windscreen. Yeah, scraping up the windscreen, as my brother says.
He's only joking. He's only joking about that, but he's rushed home to try a little bit of Fat Baron. How is the Fat Baron going down well for you?
I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I'm not with the Fat Baron.
Okay, what you got?
I'm with the Messias.
Mattis Rose?
No.
Oh, Messias. Okay.
Messias, you boy.
It is like you. You are a very naughty boy. Is that why you got that wine?
No, actually, I didn't get it. I went to Stadlicado in Caldas. You know that big wine shop, which is just brilliant. It's got row after row after row of wines, spirits, whiskies, you name it. Curiously enough, I tried to get some Fat Baron for Gary, and I had them turn the shop upside down, but they hadn't got any. So I got a bit confused, to be honest with you, because I do have trouble, when people say, tell me about yourself, etc. So I turned to my son and said, look, I'm stuck here, kid. I need some help about, describing or picking out alcohol which describes me. So he did it for me, which was really, really lovely. And if I can remember correctly, this is a sparkling effervescent number, which is kind of related to my own character, which is very kind of him. Yeah. Right? I'll slip in a $5 later. And it's part of the spumant, but it's a brute. And he said, which,
brute.
Obviously, he's a brute. And it's light, it's bubbly, it likes a good party. It's kind of forceful. These are all the words that he was giving me. I'm trying to remember them. It's from the Bairrau region. And is it a Bairrau grape?
Bairrada, or the Barga grape.
Barga grape. Barga grape. And it's a single grape. And he said it's a drink with a lot of gravity to it. You know.
Wow.
Although it's kind of effervescent and fruity and full of vim. It has gravity and weight. I'm kind of paraphrasing him on the gravity bit, but I think I understood what he was saying. So all in all,
remarkable. Yeah.
What did he say?
I didn't know. Remarkable to find an espumant that reeks of testosterone as well. I mean,
Well, he never mentioned the testosterone, right?
Right.
But you know it's coming, don't you? And it came. Pour a glass of Okay, we're gonna pour a glass, even a glass. Oh, we're gonna pour a glass live.
Just zoom in on this fizz here.
Sorry.
It's all
Get a wine.
pouring. Obviously, it's filling up, and it's all bubbly, and it's magnificent. And I did have a wee little taste just before.
Overflowing sometimes.
Overflowing, but I'm being conservative now. So
that's not like you.
It's not an unpleasant smell. Sometimes you can get the best of them, and they're a bit sort of.
Praise.
They can be a bit wee-like, you know.
Just like yourself.
Well, I did drive there very quickly, and I did kind of scare myself. Man pads. Yeah, man pads. I should have took some. Anyway, here we go. Right. Okay. So
anyway, thank you.
You can talk my taste. Got like a lucky boy.
A bull snorting in the background.
I think it's slightly sour, but got sweetness with it as well. It's not as it looks.
The boy chose well.
I think he did actually. I think I can see the gravity bit now that he's talking about, and it's not. You know, sometimes when you drink these things and they're a bit gassy, you know. Now that could be autobiographical about me.
I'm going to go with playful but serious.
Playful
very
but
nice.
serious. Well, they're all chipping in now. It's good job Pete's off mic, isn't it?
Seriously playful. Thank you for the time being. Excellent work there, Poopy Longlegs, as you are now known in my household. I don't know why did my 5-year-old call you that? Do we know?
Because I donned a cowboy hat and we had a play cowboy fight.
And he came up with the name Poopy Longlegs.
He just carried away, didn't he, with the magnificence of my accent and my performance.
I think so. You brought out
the Poopy Longlegs.
Quite a big part in that little episode. Thank you very much, Poopy. Let's move on.
So, all in all,
right, sorry, go on.
Sorry?
All in all, go on. Yes, I was just moving on to Johnny Cocktail. You hadn't finished.
I'm wrapping up now. I'm in finality and using all those phrases.
Without further ado.
Without further ado, and I don't want to beat around the bush about this at all.
No, unaccustomed as you are.
I'm not a man. No, am I? Yes, I think I am. I'm not a man to mince words. Okay, it's all right. He chose well, did the young lad.
Merci, Ashley. Hold it up for us one more time so we can see what you're talking about. As the actress said to the bishop.
Yep.
Very good. I just can't help going Monty Python on that. And you, of course, you are not the Messiah. But you are a very
naughty boy.
Excellent. Well done. Thank you very much, Terence. And let's go to Johnny Cocktail. Talk us through your selection tonight, please, Johnny.
Well, I set it up as to why I chose it because I'm just a fan of what comes out of this winery. This one happens to be 100% Cab Sauv. It is a 2022. It comes in at 14.5% alcohol. It's true to form. It's what you'd expect, what you'd want out of a cab. So it's going to be great with roasted red meats and strong cheeses. And that's why I'm a fan of it. And it just also happened to be that at one of the prominent grocery stores around here that often has discounts. It's at a 50% discount right now.
Can't be bad. Even better than Ermelinda. So, have you been to the HQ of Ermelinda in the way that Gary and Linda were last week?
I have not. I tried to get a booking there for my birthday in the middle of July, and there was just going to be 2 of us, and we couldn't get in because we needed a larger group. So you're all a larger group. Who wants to meet me there in the middle of July, and we can have an exploration.
Fabulous. I think Mary Louise Kiernan, MLK to us, might want to do that. Ala from New York just tuned in. Suggestions for wine tour tastings. In Lisboa. How far would it be to go from the capital out to Ermelinda? Gary might be best able to answer that question.
It's not far. You're probably talking about 30, 45 minutes.
40 minutes.
Towards Stubal, right?
Yeah.
Cross the river. That's going to be a great journey, MLK. You might like that, and Johnny's invitation is there for you to do that. What a wonderful opportunity that might be. Thanks, Johnny, for that. Portuguese, Lord Gilchrist, the host of the Man Cave, is here. This is a bit like the Man Cave. It looks similar on the screen, but a little more sophisticated, less swearing, and with wine instead of terps or whatever they drink on a Friday night on the Man Cave there. Over to no connection meant there with the beautiful Fundal port that's been spoken of. Tell us a bit more about how that's going down. And is that a fresh bottle that you two have opened this evening?
Well, we have a little bit. This is really pokey. Okay, I mean, I'd like there's a few drinks that really do get me drunk quite quickly, like champagne, and this is on a par with that. It definitely kicks you in the head. So we can never manage a whole bottle in an evening. It's just too dangerous to do that. But so
you're going to give it a good go.
We opened it last night.
We've got through. I think we've got through 4 bottles in 4 days. So we've kind of done a bottle a day, but it's still just. Yeah, it's really pokey, but it's beautiful. It's really sweet. It's really kind of fruity, and you can really taste the aging in it. It's lovely. That's what I suppose the worst thing for us sometimes is when we talk about wines. As I said, like half the best wines we've tasted, just like you were saying where you are now. We've got some friends that still stomp on their grapes and make their own bottles, and they're amazing. And people that we know that produce wine that never gets anywhere near a shop or anywhere near outside, it's often the best wine that we've ever had, and maybe it's because of the sentiment behind it as well, but it certainly sort of like knocks the socks off most of the stuff that we can get in a shop, and it's lovely. It's part of what
I can understand that. Yeah, thank you, and we look forward to the Portuguese remake of With Nell and I. When you get 12 bottles in 12 days or something of your brew there. Thank you for joining us tonight. MLK would like that spelt. So Ermelinda and Setúbal might be useful if someone can pop that on the screen for MLK. Johnny, maybe you can do that, and it might be your opportunity or your presentation that Mary picks up on there. Oh, look, here we go. Look, Johnny's holding it up to the screen for you there. Ermelinda, up a bit. There we go. And Vinha de Valentina is what Johnny's drinking tonight. So yeah, if you look for Ermelinda, you're going to find that Mary there. So thank you very much for that. Wonderful. Okay, does anybody want to add any? Oh, Sarah and Dan, forgive me for not coming to you again. Has that improved at all? Not that inoffensive and unimpressive bottle that you spoke of earlier.
It's not bad. It's just not what I would normally prefer. It's just really, really light. One thing I noticed, we actually live and we overlook the Cortine winery, and they have a grape, a Tanat wine that they do, and it has a really peppery finish that I absolutely adore. And now that's almost all I want is that peppery finish now. So when I have something that's this, it's kind of like what I would have enjoyed maybe 5 or 6 years ago, what I'm drinking right now. So I still like it.
Okay.
It's not, and maybe the peppery finish would be more in line with your experience of me, Carl, than
that did go through my mind. And Hugh says freshly ground, perhaps.
And I
Dan.
want to say something else about Canada and the Portuguese wines that are there. Very, very limited what you would see on the shelf in a liquor store. They have just a few ones that would impress, and the rest of them, honestly, you have no idea how good Portuguese wine is until you get to Portugal. And then you are really tasting some amazing wines, and it's really not represented well in Canada, but maybe they're just keeping all the good stuff here. So
I think that is what happens. It is what happens. You're going to see Porto Seix, aren't you? And you're going to see Matis Rosé away in other countries, and you just get a wrong sense. Get a wrong sense of Portuguese wine from that, and maybe a Vinho Verde from somewhere, but it just doesn't. As you rightly point out, and thanks for saying that. You've no idea, have you, really, until you come here?
No. And not only that, but just the varieties and the different, green wine is its own thing,
Yes.
Green wine, I didn't even really care for white wines, but if you have a green wine, you're having this beautiful you got me calling him Chinese Terry now. As John
that is his name.
It isn't. Effervescent, sort of a white wine that's effervescent, that's just delicious with fish. I mean, I never had anything like that before I came to Portugal. Not that tasted like that. So I just really, there is no end to the different experiences you can have with wine here. I don't think it would matter what winery or what place you wanted a wine tour. There would be something there that you would say,
Yep, very well said. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for saying that. That's wonderful. Who did we just lose? And who's popping back on there?
Yeah.
We'll find that in due course. Oh, there's Colin. He's back again now. And dropped down a little bit further into his chair, I think. Go on, Michael.
Yeah.
The spring's gone. It's up now.
He's sinking slowly down into the sofa with that lovely warm fire in the background there. Chuck another log on, if you will, Colin. Give it a poke. Did you want to add something there? I think you were leaning to say something.
Say something about the Canadian and US market for Portuguese wines. Garcia's Vinho Verde has been in the markets in North America for probably 15, 20 years. It's probably the only one you can buy. And since then, they have started introducing some of the reds, but they're very typical. The blends that are put together in the Lisboa area, we tasted one about 2 or 3 tastings ago, the one that's got the trolley car steaming through the middle of town. There's another one that's got, it looks like peacock's tails all around the label, red and blue. It's another blend, and they're just something we'd pay $2.50 for here, and they're probably €7 when you get them in a discount, $7-8 when you get them in a discount place. So we're very lucky. I mean, what we have now, but that's not to say you cannot buy very good Portuguese wines. If you go to is it Wine and More? No, there's a big wine store across the US that they carry probably 30 different Portuguese wines, but you're going to.
And in Canada, you can order from the Liquor Control Board.
Yeah, the Liquor Control Board can order anything you want.
Yeah.
You just tell them what
The Liquor Control Board, is that a government office that helps you with wine?
Yeah. No,
That's
the only
great.
way you can find a supermarket in Canada is if it's grown in the that you're from. You cannot
interesting.
Plus wine or anything else in a supermarket that doesn't come from your province. You have to go to
You have to go to the Liquor Control Board to buy out of province. Wow. Okay, fascinating.
Beer. You can't buy beer in your supermarket in Canada.
Is that right? Okay. Wow.
Now you can you can buy beer and in the US supermarkets and hard liquor now too. So
Wow, very interesting. Thank you. You always learn something here on the Good Morning Portugal Wine Club on the first Monday of every month. Now, let's have a little bit of a palate cleanser. We'll come back to all your selections. Oh, thank you for turning the light on, Sarah and Dan. And thank you for putting the log on the fire, Hugh. We'll come back to see how all of these selections are going down a little bit later on. But now is the time for a bit of a palate cleanser and to find out more about Minola, where Colin and I are have been this afternoon and are this evening. I want to play a quick video, a couple of minutes of video. This is the YouTube film of Minola here of the Quinta dos Três Rios, and we'll talk to the DOC, which has been a controversial DOC for us, hasn't it, in the history of the Good Morning Portugal Wine Club. Dow has been one of our most mysterious areas to go to, and it's lovely to be right in the heart of the Dow tonight. And normally when we look at winery videos, wouldn't it be nice to visit that place that we just looked at when we look at the videos? Colin and I are actually in the place you just saw on the video. So thank you, Hugh, for your invitation to have us here and that wonderful tour you gave me around the vineyard this afternoon. And our wine club friends here, I'm sure will have questions for you. But you've been here 20 years, haven't you? And I think it's fair to say you've learned an incredible amount about making wine, and we're going to try some tonight.
We've got an Alfrescero, which is the single variety, which is actually only produced in the Viseu area.
Check it out, folks.
And this is a 2017. Most of the Dow wines need time. We would suggest that even some of the Touriga Nacionals could do with 5, 8, 10 years. In fact, our 2012 is only just really ready now.
Yeah.
So they do need time. So
well, you made this point earlier on today, and it might explain the mystery why the Dow has had the most sort of mixed reception here. Gary, we've said this before, haven't we? I mean, you're the longest standing member, I think, of the wine club on the screen tonight. And over the last 4 years, the Dow has been the difficult one in a way, isn't it? The problem child. And I think maybe Hugh's explained why there. It needs time.
Yeah, that's interesting. That is possibly a very useful tip. We found that the Dows to be ranging from the goddamn awful to the very acceptable. But like you say, maybe they need just a bit of time to mature. Whether that's a regional thing or not, I don't know. But that's an interesting point. Yeah, thanks for that tip.
It definitely needs time, but also it needs introducing back to the air. So it needs aeration, and it needs more than just the cork removed for half an hour. It really needs to have the oxygen put to it, and it will enhance it dramatically. So you don't need to filter it, but aerate it. That's what I'm going to do in a minute. I've got this Alfrescero. It's been in this bottle for a good few years, and it needs to be awakened.
and it will be using this process in front of us. So you've got this contraption here, the Ventura, did you call it?
Yeah, it's a bit. It comes from the States actually, but it really does save an hour of decanting. So I'm just going to take the cork out of here and just put it through. There's a nice sound for you.
That is a beautiful sound. It's a beautiful cork, and the wine producer is putting his own wine into the aerator now. We're going to be trying it tonight. Colin, you're going to have a glass? He's asleep. He is.
Yeah. So what we're doing is allowing the air to mix in the base of the aerator, and this
making quite the sound, isn't it?
Oh yes, you can hear it. You can hear
That is a sound I know very well.
Yeah, me too. We have one. It's the best invention.
Yeah.
It is a great sound.
And I'm getting some serious aroma as a result.
Yeah.
Yeah, the aroma is filling the room at the same time. Wow. Okay, so let's just go on through the Ventura.
So this is foot trod.
Foot trod. Okay, let's get you talking into that one there.
Yeah, foot trod, and it's allowed to stay at least a year in steel, then about 18 months in French oak. That's not new French oak, that's been recycled French oak. They strip the barrels, clean out the inside, reform the barrels, and then it's 18 months there. Then it will be, if it's going to be blended, it will be another year in the blend. This was actually single variety, and it's quite interesting. Also, we have quite a nice spider's web forming on top of the decanter there. And the spider's web is a real indicator.
Really?
To quality. Yeah.
Tell us what you mean by that.
It's a surface tension that forms around the decanted wine.
Yeah.
And it looks like a spider's web.
Well, okay. So
Carl,
we're learning something.
Can you blow up the screen so we see the spider's web that he's talking about?
I wonder if we can do that. Let's see what we can do. I've got that camera there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can you get into? Can you see in that? And
it's right in the bottom there. So it forms literally. It's like a little web, and it's surface tension around the outside of the glass. It forms like a little spider's web. It usually takes a couple of minutes to develop.
Yeah.
But it is a good indicator to do with really alcohol and the tensions.
I hope you got to see something of that there, Sarah. I hope that helped a little bit. I mean, 2 angles. Yeah, please, let's go for it. I mean, what's happening here at Quinta dos Tres Rios is the crackling of the fire behind us. Yeah, that's an old seasoned oak log on the fire there.
Yeah, and there's
the aroma of the wine that this man has made here in this very place. It's a special evening. Any questions for this maestro here? Please go ahead and ask. I'm sure the wine fans here will want to ask.
So
there we go.
So, question: is this a dryland vineyard, or are you irrigated?
Certainly don't irrigate. Everything we have to make the vines really work. They go down through the granite gravel.
Yeah.
If you tend to irrigate, you make the rootstock rise. Then in harsh, hot weather, there's no moisture. So we encourage the vines to go deep, hunt for the minerals, hunt for the nutrients.
Suffer the vine to better the wine.
Yes, there is some shit in, shit out, isn't it? Yeah.
That's another way of putting it, I guess.
You need good grapes to make good wine.
Yeah.
In my past, I smoked a lot of salmon, and you need good salmon to make good smoked salmon. And it's very much the same for
How do you keep them lit?
How do I keep them
lit when you're smoking a salmon?
Have you heard that before, Hugh? See? Cheers. But this man has smoked everything. It would appear from talking to him before. And you made the transition from smoking chicken, trout, salmon,
even
pigeon,
butter,
smoked butter.
Yeah, smoked butter, unsalted butter.
Garlic. That's what, Jay.
Garlic,
Cheers.
yes.
And then the transition. Had you made wine before? You
never made wine.
And so in the last 20 years, you've learnt this craft in this place.
Yeah, I was doing kind of did stages at different vineyards, learning a little bit of what they were doing. When they were doing a harvest, I joined them in the harvest.
Yeah.
And learned how to pick the grapes.
Yes.
And then trod the grapes with these traditional growers around us. I mean, there are thousands of producers in the Dow, thousands, tens and tens of thousands. Some only produce 50 litres.
Yes, the sort of producers that Pete was talking about earlier on that you'll never see anywhere unless you get to meet them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
that's lovely.
Are you liking this?
I'm loving it.
A little bit of oaky nose.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to sort of talk me through that, I think.
Yeah. And there's aging now. See, it's starting to dawn. You've got some little kind of.
What's the aging sign?
Well, when you start looking at the colour and it's going from a reddish to a more brownish colour.
Yeah.
That's the aging process.
That's the giveaway on that, is it? Yeah. Wow. Okay. This is what an amazing experience. So thank you very much for that. I urge you to come here. People can come and stay with you and drink this wine.
They can, and we do little wine tours.
Wow.
We do wine tours, and at certain times of the year they can tread grapes.
Yeah.
We do.
Who wants to do that?
Who's never
yes.
Who's never trod grapes? Any of you trod grapes?
Yes.
Pete's done that. Yeah. And the Whitbees have done that.
Good.
Yeah. And it's a Michelin star restaurant that we can see from through the window on the other side of the valley. Yeah. And you've got like a brother in winemaking on the other side. And this is the fraternity of winemakers around here, is it?
Yeah, there's Quinta de Lemos, and the winemaker there is literally my mentor. He helps me like mad in tasting what comes out of a barrel. Is it good to blend this with that?
Yeah.
Very often, I pick my grapes and I'm going to think about making the wine, and he says it's like an apple you've cut in half, and the seeds are a little bit light coloured. They haven't actually turned that dark brown. The apple tastes okay, but it just wants another few more days on the vine.
And this is how giving and friendly your neighbour winemaker is. Were you expecting that?
Well, I give them a little bit of smoked salmon at Christmas.
All right, it's a smoked salmon gift that does it. Mate, any questions for Hugh here? James in the background as well. Go on, Sarah.
Well, actually, I was just going to say, Carl, I would love it if you would take a sip and then tell me what happens. Describe to me what you're tasting. I would like your palate to describe what you're tasting when you taste this wine.
I'm gonna kind of focus myself in a different part of my consciousness for this now. There's a dryness about it, isn't there?
Yeah, that's the tannins.
Yep.
The tannins and the acids.
There's a tannin,
but it's
vibe.
Long.
It's long,
staying in there.
Yep. And yes, if I were to just compare myself to this wine, and I'd like to, it's long and complex.
And there's a plumminess also.
Who's laughing? Hold on. Okay.
Did you say the wine has a complex?
I did not say that. No, I do, but the wine doesn't.
It has complexity because it's layered. You've got a citrusy, tanniny flavour at the back. This is a classic kind of Alpha Sherry.
And then I'm getting a fruitiness as well, though. After that,
yeah. And this will go on for another 10 years at least.
How do you mean? As in, you could lay this down and then still enjoy it?
It'll be amazing. Yeah, it's got stability. Very stable.
So there we go. That's the Tao. Maybe the secret of the Tao, or the
time.
The Taoism.
Time.
Yeah, give it time. And that's not something that happens. We were saying this earlier on, weren't we? In the fast moving world of Portuguese wine and the supermarkets, and how the whole industry here gets turned over constantly, special offers, and they just want to keep moving things and producing new things. That's not really an ethic that's so well known here, is it?
But if you find a good Touriga Nacional, which is young and it's properly corked, got a proper cork, not a spin top, lay that down, forget about it for 10 years, come back to it. If it's got a good pedigree, that's going to be amazing wine. But you need to give them time. They sell them off early because they just need cash flow.
Turn it over. Yeah.
Yeah.
What an amazing thing that would be in a Good Morning Portugal wine club tasting in 2034. when we've opened something that we've all laid down for 10 years or even 5 years. It'd be extraordinary, wouldn't it, to do that?
So I do have a question. The wines that you're selling now, are they of those prior vintages that you've been holding on to, or are you asking the consumer to buy and hold?
No, we never sell anything never less than 5 years old.
Okay.
So, and some of the wines are 8 to 10 years old. In fact, we've got a 2014 now, which is cracking. It's just come really well. It's a blend of all four, but they take severe amount of time. We're just quite happy to be patient and not release wine because we have to, because it's a bit of a hobby to us. We produce 8,000 bottles a year, and we
sounds like a lot.
We try to
That's a
drink
hobby.
quite a lot.
Yeah. What a wonderful hobby to have. So, any more questions for Hugh?
So, Hugh, would you say that Portugal, because when we do olive oil here at our farm, the Portuguese tend to harvest things much later than you would do anywhere else in Europe, and it gives a kind of, it makes it there's much more depth of flavour, I think, but it's possibly kind of much weaker, a weaker taste elsewhere. Would you say that's the same for wines as well? Do they prefer a more complex flavour perhaps than the rest of the European market? What do you think?
Well, I think that definitely the specific Dow wines do really need, they're harvested at an alcohol perceived at about 14%, a lot of them, and aged. They really need a good bit of time after they've been completed. It needs, well, I would say minimum 5 years, but I mean, some of the varieties, take Touriga, you really need a lot more years after that. I mean, the 12 is coming in now, and it's, you know, it needs a lot of time. Patience.
Brilliant. That's really good. That's a great tip. Thanks a lot for that. That's awesome. Yeah.
Cheers, Pete. Thanks for the question. Any other questions for Hugh here? We're going to go around and talk more about the wines that we've chosen tonight, of course, before we conclude. But we've got Hugh here, who's learned to make wine here in Portugal. I mean, what a fantastic dream that is, which you didn't know exactly how it was going to turn out, of course. You came here in 2004.
Yeah, we didn't even know the vineyards were here because they were all...
Of course, that's right. You were clearing the ground and you found vineyards.
We found the American rootstock underneath. They'd never been inserted. And any winemaker should have two things in their pocket. One is a lighter. Anybody know why we have a lighter in our pocket?
That's a good question.
Anybody know that?
Why do you need the lighter?
For the salmon.
Not quite, but what we do is that we check our tanks by pressing the flame on them, putting it on the top of the tank and seeing if there's any carbon dioxide coming out. So we're seeing if the fermentation is completed. So that's why we have a lighter. And the other thing that you'll find in a winemaker is a knife, but the knife is specific. It has a raised piece here. And anybody know why you have a raised piece on the end of the blade? If you can see that.
Let me just zoom in again, and you can hold that up closer to the camera there. That one up there.
Do you see?
It's a different sort of shape of knife, pocket knife, though, isn't it?
Yeah. There's a curve.
It looks like it's broken, in fact, but a special winemaker's knife. Why is that then, guys?
So, well, anybody any ideas why you have that like with the curve?
To cut off the stems.
Stumped. Oh, I think Pete's onto it.
I don't know. I would imagine just check your grapes to cut the stems off or something, or
This is to make the insert. This is to take the variety you want and put it into the American rootstock that's growing. So you actually cut grafting.
This is a grafting knife, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a grafting knife.
Brilliant.
Exactly.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So always kept in my pocket. Not that I'm going to be grafting at this time of year. It's too late. They're already off and running.
Just a habit.
But I just keep it as a habit and always a lighter, especially during fermentation time. September.
Brilliant.
All right. Any more questions for Hugh? Just shout them out. But let's go round the room and have a chat about the wines that you chose this evening as we're enjoying the Minole. Are these available online from your website, or are you?
At the moment, we've got people who come and see us. We do little wine tours, and they pick up wine that they want. So tend to. It's a personal thing at the moment.
Well,
we
sounds
haven't
good to me.
We haven't built up our online site because basically we're looking at small individual artisanal type restaurants for our wine where you can't buy it in a supermarket. You'll never buy this in a supermarket. This is only a personal basis.
How lovely. And that's very representative of this region, isn't it? These are one-to-one personal local experiences as well. And you were saying, Visio, Tondela, there's something going on here, a foodie vibe as well.
I mean, Viseu is becoming the gastronomic capital, wine capital of Portugal. It's the food, restaurants. They do almost like a satay type market from where they've got all these stalls and you eat from different restaurants. You buy a ticket.
Cool. Street food.
Yeah, in September they usually do that.
How about that?
Fun.
We should perhaps meet here. Go on, Gary.
I have a question. Yeah, I don't think it's any secret that I'm quite a rosé lover, and I always think a rosé is probably a very difficult wine to make. I mean, I've had many rosés that are probably a bit too sweet for my liking. The only rosé that's king for me at the moment is the Shaker rosé, which is on the drier side. So, down rosés, I've probably not found too many of. Any tips there?
Yes. We do.
We had some this afternoon.
So rosé we make always from Touriga Nacional.
That's good. Yeah.
That's the first thing. So we tend to make our rosé late because we make our red wine directly after separating the juice from the grapes with as little contact to the skin, pips, and pulp. We then open up the press and allow the rest of those skins and pips to mix with all the rest of the grapes, and that makes our red wine Touriga. So we separate the juice to start with, straight through just ordinary mesh filters, nothing special, garden netting, and put it straight into the stainless steel tank, and that's where it sits. And our rosé, it's fresh, a little bit more color, a little bit more alcohol. Our rosé tends to be about 13.5%, rather than the kind of, dare I say, dishwashy kind of 9%. It's like water. I like a bit more color.
Gary, we had some of Hugh's rosé this afternoon. It was dry and delicious. It was fantastic. Not that syrupy,
Do me a favour then, Carl. Do me a favour. Bring me a bottle back, and whatever it costs, I'll square it with you.
How about that? There we go.
The other thing I actually do is
rosé.
Who wants a rosé?
Bottle of rosé.
I was worried when you told me about the aguardente kind of mix going on in there, and then
come out now.
Yeah,
we actually oak age it slightly, so that's another thing which many people don't do. So we put it into not fresh oak, but oak that's had encruzado, which is the white grape from the Dow, and just allow it to mature slightly in oak. 40 days, 45 days. That's all.
Wow.
Does that impart much of a color change?
No. Because it's never had red wine, the browny color from which you get if you left a spirit in, like the aguardente vinegra, you would then get the color change. But with this 40 days, nothing at all. You wouldn't see it.
I think a Gumper trip here at some point is in order, isn't it? Amazing. Thank you, Hugh. I'm sure there may well be other questions before we finish tonight. So let's go back and have a look at these. And normally we mark our wines out of 5, don't we? But it seems a bit odd to have got everyone to choose a wine that reflects them and then ask them to mark themselves out of 5. So unless anyone's got any particularly low self-esteem issues, it's not really going to work, is it? So maybe we'll just go with further commentary, having tasted and talked, and a later reflection in the session. So go ahead, please, Michael and Catherine.
Well, I think this aguardente goes to 11.
Really, you're really loving that, aren't you?
No, seriously, it goes to 11, and the others all go to 10, but this goes to 11. Good.
Yeah,
I'd love.
What alcohol? What else? The alcohol content on that?
It'll be 40%, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's
40%.
And if you could, for those curious about it, could you hold it up to the screen one more time, please, there, Michael?
Oh, sorry.
Nice looking bottle. No, other way. That's it. There you go. There it is, Martha's.
And Vinicra is only made from wine.
Okay, good
So
to
the
know.
distillation of that is
Yeah.
only made from wine. It's not the pips and skins.
Okay, good to know.
Oh.
Vinicula, there we go. That's the meaning of that in there. Michael and Catherine, won't ask you to well, you've given it a score, 11 out of 10 on a 1 to 5 scale. That's a really good mark.
Wow.
Brilliant. So we have two. Go on, sorry, mate. Go on, carry on.
I said I could have said it goes to 5.5, and then, but that wouldn't be.
It's not very Spinal Tap, is it?
No. Not really.
Okay. Brilliant. All right. Thank you very much for that selection tonight. Let's go to Al Viagra and to Terence there with his Naughty Boy Espumant.
Naughty Boy Espumant. Can I say something slightly controversial here?
It's not like you at all.
Surely
Not me. When I came to this I thought we were talking about wines that reflected us.
Yeah.
Character. Now, I found that quite an interesting dimension to wine, okay? Because let's be honest, wine does change your personality as you drink it. Another person often comes out.
Speak for yourself.
But I think really what I'd like to do, with your kind permission, is to actually, I think we're letting people off the hook here, right?
Yeah, you're probing, aren't you? You're in a probing mood after that Espumant.
I'm welcoming and trying to deliver a platform for people to actually talk about themselves and their connection with wine. And we've all chosen wines. I thought, I may be wrong, I may have got this, totally.
It was your idea. It wasn't. Yes, it was your right. Yes,
Was it my favourite?
it was.
Anyway, that's not important. What's important is the connection people have with wine and how it reflects on them. And Michael's done a lovely analogy of the aguardent. It looks fabulous. I'm going to try that, by the way. But we didn't really learn a lot about Michael, and his relationship to that aguardent and what the two sort of bring out with one another. So I'd like to throw it back to Michael and, say to you, with the deepest and greatest respect, you're not going to escape. Come on, son, kick it out. Tell us what that aguardent means to you and why you chose it and why it reflects you. Come on, buddy, let's just
Chinese.
go.
Thank you very much for that. You have gone all Fraser on us. So over to you, Michael, with that invitation.
Well, I actually tried to do that in the beginning, but I'm going to let Catherine go. Excuse me.
Oh, there's kicking off.
No, she's declined. Okay.
I think the psychotherapeutic angle here has been possibly eschewed.
We stood with Catherine looking at wine. Said, okay, what wine?
That sunset.
Said a wine's not going to do it for us. And I actually originally wanted to choose Madeira, and the Madeira is something that I think is very underrated. But for us, what it meant is Madeira was basically about from traveling the oceans and crossing the equator twice. We've done it in our own boat once and in other boats several times. And that to me is something that really, it rings true with me because it's a wine that's traveled. I really like it. And the reason it's as good as it is it was sent out on an adventure and came home and became a success. And that's kind of like us.
And like Portugal, early navigator days.
Yeah.
Age of discovery.
It's us. We just go and do something new. Our friends are always amazed at our itchy feet. I mean, I'm 73 and I just moved from the
Isn't that lovely? Thank you very much for that.
Can you see the look on Terence's face there? I think you got what you wanted there, didn't you?
I really am. I tell you, because you started to give a little window on yourself, which was lovely.
Yeah, thank you for that intervention there, Terence. So do you want to do the same? Do you want to respond to your own inquiry there?
My own inquiry. What you mean, my relationship to this wine?
Yes.
It's,
I mean, it's
you
a
know,
tribute. It's a tribute to you from your son in many ways, isn't it?
and there you go, right? I mean, you know, it's quite touching, really. I am, the more I think about it, moved by it. And I will always have a special relationship with this now because it was chosen by my son. And hand on heart, he's told me exactly what to say tonight. And thank God, otherwise I'd be really stuck. The more I drink it, the more I can see myself in it. And it's fairly strong. It's bubbly. It doesn't smell too much, and it's fun, and I like it, and it actually goes surprisingly well. We like each other.
Thank you very much, Terence, for that, and thank you, Ben, of course. Can we go? Is it possible to go to Linda now, or have we lost control in Alviagra this evening?
Well, if we're talking about the fact
Which we are.
it doesn't relate to me because Gary said it, but I have to say that
Is it like me?
it is like you because it's fruity.
Because it's fat.
No, it's fruity, got lots of depth and a long finish, and sort of.
Well, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
It's just a really lovely wine. It's sort of it's probably gone to the top of my list of wines that I like to drink. Just because of the flavor of it, you know. So
it is good.
yeah, I think it's a good wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Yes.
I'll give the 20 quid. Yeah.
Well, I would just go and run with that long finish compliment there, Garbo.
Yeah.
What would you add to that?
5 minutes and it's all over, really.
That's not what she said.
Before I go into my one, I want to just show Michael something, right? Now, when we meet again, Michael, before you go off on your travels, whenever that will be, right, I'm going to save this for you. I'm going to save this for you because I know the last one you tried, you were disappointed with, right? But this actually won a gold medal, right? So I'll save that for you, whether we have it at yours or whether we have it at mine. I'll put that to one side. But bring your agua, right? We'll do a trade. Bring your agua then, so I'll taste that. Deal?
Very good.
Excellent.
That's a nice kind of meet up in a lay-by, isn't it?
There you go. Right.
Very good.
Fat Baron, right? Fat Baron, right? It is just a joyous, cover everything wine, and it's great for a party. You know what I mean? Come on down, enjoy it, immerse yourself in it, and get happy. I think that's kind of me, really.
That is you. That's definitely you. So well done, well said, and thank you for encouraging us to go back towards that analysis, that psychoanalysis aspect there, Terence. Thank you very much, Al Viagra. I'm aware that Jane has invited us to dinner, and we have gone past the 9:15 invitation. So I'm so sorry, Jane, but this lot won't stop talking.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Jane is here, everybody. Look, Jane, we've heard from you. Jane, thank you so much for your invitation.
Well,
to be here this evening.
We'd love to see you.
Such fun being here this afternoon and evening.
Yep,
so thank you very much indeed. Looking forward to dinner as well.
Good.
Thank you very much. And I mean, I don't know if you want to say into the microphone. We've heard a lot about Hugh's experience here. How's this last 20 years at the Quinta dos Três Rios been for you?
Unbelievable. I would never think it was such fun, love. It's just freedom. It's wonderful.
Fun, love, and freedom! Yes!
Portugal!
Yes! Força Portugal! Thank you, Jay.
We are ready.
There you go. And a wine that reflects that. How about the fun, love, and freedom of Portugal? Jane, thank you so much. Yes, we'll take it. Brilliant. Sarah and Dan, has that come off the page at all for you? Has it gone from 2 to 3 dimensions?
Delicious.
I got pineapple.
No, it's perfectly fine. It really is. I mean, it's just speaking of the Portuguese and the spirit of adventure. That's just us on our wine tasting adventure here.
Exactly.
Like we scarcely buy the same bottle twice, and there's no end to the varieties and no end to the wineries. and we're rarely disappointed no matter what we buy. It's,
Loving that reflection there, so that your wine journey is not unlike your whole life journey here in Portugal. The adventure, the variety, the different things to try. That's a beautiful analogy. If that's indeed what you were saying.
Yeah. When we're still on our way, there's still lots to see. So
yeah, absolutely. Sarah, are you going to add something to that? Peppery finish, Mrs. Peppery finish.
Well, I just think that, yeah, I mean, we really don't buy the same wine twice, and sometimes I'll say, "Oh my goodness, that's so good." You go back and it's not there anymore. So that's the way that it is. I mean, you get some that you just think, oh my goodness, this needs to go. Like, we need a case of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of them you just try, but they're all really amazing. They are all good. It's not. I think it's after we've been here a year and a half. It's easy to say, oh, it's okay. This one's okay, because they're
yes. Get you. No, totally understand that. The euphoria. It just it becomes a new normal, doesn't it? It becomes a new normal.
But if you keep going back to what you already tried, you're never try anything new. So that's what this is about.
Okay, another nice parallel there. Thank you very much indeed, Sarah and Dan, for joining us. Come again, definitely come join us again on screen. The mayor's son's girlfriend's dad's port from Fundell.
Well, Gary and Linda have both met about a year ago, just a bit less than a year ago today. We had a Eurovision pool party, right, which was fab. And it was really nice. Gary and Linda popped along, and you've met Emmanuel, haven't you? The big bearded chap with the mayor's son, and it's great. His girlfriend is lovely. His girlfriend's fab, isn't she? She's really nice. So it was lovely of her to bring that along. And it's the kind of I think that's what Portugal's all about. It's all about learning new things and having a great time doing it. And the wine, well, the port is amazing, but we've realised that without eating things, it's a bit more amazing than we should really handle. So I think we're going to have
that's right. Who's going to be the one to discover the other one asleep in the chair tonight? We'll have a lovely evening in Fundell. I mean, that is so special, isn't it? Priceless to have access to a drink there that no one else here is going to taste, probably. And that's unique and special. Although Terence is go on, Terence, are you going to add something to that?
Come on. You've let him escape, haven't you, really? You know,
he didn't give anything away, did he?
Well, because he is, right? He's Mr. Wonderful. He skated over it, and Diane's been very quiet there.
She has
haven't really told us.
Go on, Fraser. Probe him.
I'm giving him a probing now. He's going deep.
Right. The dinner gong is going off here. Come on, Pete. Expose yourself.
You guys, you know, come on, you've been a bit, you're
Come on, Diane.
Come on, Diane. Come on, take it home now. Bring it in a couple of lines. Tell us.
I'm aware that I'm being very rude to my hostess here. So I'll tell you what, we will. You and I are going to leave.
Yeah, you guys are definitely going to get a bottle, so you'll definitely try it, and it's fab, honestly. But don't plan on doing anything afterwards at all. Right. That's all I'd say is, cancel the rest of the week. Is what I reckon. It's
what I'm going to do now. I'm going to turn the live stream off, and you can go to lock-in mode, where you're going to be probed by Fraser in Alviagra tonight. Okay, so thank you, everybody. Nubianette, Squire of the Shires. We've got Oregonians, Linda, loving Portugal. Jackie, great to see you here tonight. Thank you all for being here. MLK Mary, so thank you very much. We'll turn the live stream off and we'll leave these reprobates to have a little bit of a lock-in behind the scenes. Thank you for joining us tonight. Ciao, ciao.